because Serie B is it's a wild league and a lot of things go on. So
it's a wild league. Well said. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of. We're gonna laugh a lot about our predictions.
Guaranteed to be wrong. Let's just
absolutely 100%.
Cittadella are the only team in Veneto for this season because Vicenza failed to get promoted. Venezia went up to Serie A.
I would be happy with Carrarese and Reggiana being last and second to last. We are going to be touching upon each and every one of the teams on the league, so stay with us, interact with us, and together we're going to be speaking Serie B. Roma! Welcome to the 14th episode of Speaking Serie B. First of all, let me apologize because in the previous episode, we gave you appointment like every Wednesday to last week. And then here we are. We skipped a week, but because of the break that we had. So it was entirely my fault. And yes, so we are present now. We are about to speak Serie B, and we will be speaking Serie B even next week, always on Wednesday at 7 p.m. CET time. And we're going to be doing this with Jake Iovine of Città Calcio USA. Jake, welcome, and thank you for being here.
Welcome back, Elia. No worries. Well, I keep saying no worries, but really no problems in skipping 1 week. Like I said, it worked out perfectly because there was an international break, and we wouldn't have anything really to talk about in the last episode. So no, it was all good.
So we gave you guys a break since there was a break. So anyhow,
yeah, exactly.
Right before we started this episode, you told me about market news that has to do mainly with Cittadella, but that ties in perfectly with Spezia as well. So tell us about it. What's going on?
Yeah, so Gianluca Di Marzo just came out with a report just a few hours ago, or maybe not like a few hours ago, just like really really recently, and he was saying that a free agent defender Elio Capradossi, who is 28, he should be expected to be signing for Cittadella very soon as a free agent. Capradossi last played for Lecco last season. He was on loan, I believe, and he's a former Spezia player, ex-Spezia player, where Elia was just telling me that he did play a big part in Spezia's role in getting promoted to Serie A for the first time in 2020. So he's a Uganda international. He was playing a few games for the Uganda national team this year in AFCON qualifying and World Cup qualifying. So we could be getting another international player, which could be good because just more exposure to Cittadella in the wide world, just like Ellen Castrati was with the Albania national team. But overall, this was just I think, really necessary signing just because of the defensive problems that Cittadella has been having. One of the worst defenses in Serie B. So getting another center back with experience at the high level in Serie B and a little bit in Serie A, I think it'd be very good. So he's a free agent too. So let's see what happens.
Indeed, absolutely. You see, in 2019 to 2022, he played 33 games. Actually, from 2018, he was on a loan owned by Roma, first to Bari and then to Spezia. And yes, I think that season he was among the best defensive player of Spezia Calcio. Then he was the victim, let's say, of a very big, heavy injury, and he did not play at all in the major league in Serie A. He played only the very last game, coming back from the injury that kept him away for a long time. And after that, as you said, he went to Spal and then Cagliari and Lecco last season. So we wish him well, indeed, absolutely. So thank you for this update.
Oh, and
yes, please.
I wanted to add, just because Cittadella and Spezia are playing soon, so it's entirely possible that he can make his debut against Spezia in La Spezia. So
right,
that's something to
right. There is this upcoming game, and then another one, and then our teams will be facing each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, on December 7th, I believe.
All right.
or
So let's
yeah.
start by taking a look at the table, and then we'll go through previous um, our previous predictions that we did in the most recent episode of Speaking Serie B. So this
Yep.
is
Let's do
the
it.
table currently. I think is it appearing? Yes, right here. Perfect. All right. We have Pisa still leading. Let's see if I can. Okay, maybe this is better. Pisa still leading, followed by Sassuolo, then Spezia, and 6 points behind the first three teams. There is Cesena, Cremonese that lost again, and we're going to see that the results of the most recent round in a second. Bari, Palermo, Brescia, Juve Stabia at the ninth place with 17 points. There is a bunch of teams at 17, with 17 points. Bari, Palermo, Brescia, and Juve Stabia. Bari that finally scored a win after, I think, 6 or 7 draws. They got 3 wins, 8 draws, and 2 losses. I think is the team. Even Catanzaro draw 9 games, so that's a lot of draws, guys. This is Serie B. Awesome. Please, if you want to add anything, Jake, interrupt me anytime. Jump in.
No, no, you could keep on reading the teams.
All right, then 10th place for Mantova, 11th Catanzaro, 12th Sampdoria, 13th place Cosenza with 14 points, together with Modena and Reggiana, and then Carrarese, Salernitana, and Südtirol with 13 points, and then we have Cittadella at 12th, and last Frosinone with only 10 points, 1 win, 7 draws, and 5 losses for the newly relegated team who's really struggling quite a bit. We had some like a bunch of changes on the as far as the coaches this season already. We talked about it in one of the previous episodes. So without further ado, let's take a look at what were the predictions for the 13th round, and I'm gonna be sharing the results in a second.
Funny thing is,
Right.
um, you speak about coaching changes. Cremonese changed their coach again, and Stropa is back in the touchline, replacing Carini. So that was quite a U-turn there.
I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Stropa is back.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
Stropa is back. All right. All right. I just wanted to change the. There you go. So that we don't show the results immediately. Okay. So this was. Maybe this is too. Okay. Just. All right. Cool. Round 13. Please. Read us the results of our little game, Jake, please.
Yeah, man, this feels like such a long time ago. Like I really don't remember a lot of these teams. This is what happens when there's an international break. But regardless, Frosinone drawing against Palermo, 1-1 draw. We both predicted that it was either going to go Frosinone or Palermo's way. So 0 points for both of us. Um, next
Right.
game here was Modena Carrarese. Modena getting a much needed win. I think their first win since Bisoli was sacked, and we both thought it was going to be a draw. Another 0 points for us, but luckily in the next match, we both put a safe pick on Sutiro Sassuolo.
A
Sassuolo
safe
getting
pick.
the
Yeah.
Sassuolo getting the win, so we both get a point for that. Although that was kind of like I said, a safe bet for there. Pisa Sampdoria, Pisa continue their form. I thought it was going to be a draw for some
Unbelievable.
reason. I thought Sampdoria was going to wake up, but really, I don't think you could really take away anything from Pisa right now. So, Elia,
A
you get
sounding 3-0.
yeah, yeah. I don't know how. I mean,
Sounding,
I
is that how
didn't
you
watch the game. I
say?
didn't
Like
watch the
it's a
game,
big
so
result. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it was more of Pisa being very strong or Sampdoria sucking so much. So, yeah,
Right.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know. I
but
don't know.
you get a point there. Brescia, Cosenza,
Yeah.
Man, this was a crazy game. Cosenza was up 2-0, and Brescia came back. It looks like it was going to end in a 2-2 draw, and then Cosenza out of nothing in the last minute scores, in the 94th minute, I think it was, to get a win. So big win for Cosenza, and they both get a draw. That would have gone to a point, Ilya, but Cosenza
It's all
getting
right.
the
I'm
win.
happy that the wolves devoured the lion, the lioness.
Yeah, the Alvini, your guy Alvini too.
Right, right.
Yeah, so let's see. Mantova Cremonese, the derby. Mantova getting a win. I funny thing about so I actually remember this a little bit. I tried watching the game, but I turned it off because it was so foggy. Like I could barely make out who was who
Huh.
and where the ball was. It looks like it was a lot of fog um, in Mantova that day. So I was really not interested in that. So, but no, Mantova
I bet.
winning. We both get 0 points again, and another 0 points for us. Cittadella Cesena. I thought it was going to be a draw. You had a lot of faith in Cittadella, but that did not end up being the case. Oh
I'm
man,
sorry.
yeah.
Tell us
Should,
about the
should we?
game.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, well, like I said, it happened a while ago. So, like, a lot of things. Like, I'm gonna read you some notes that I took during it, so it kind of refreshes my
Please.
memory. But no, I was very impressed by Chisena, and it felt like every time they went forward, they attacked, they looked like they were going to score. That's what I said in my recent podcast. Like every time they attacked, they looked very threatening. I think at the end they had like 10 shots on target, which was just a insane amount. And kind of similar to the Palermo game, it was tied at halftime, and you know Cittadella had absorbed a lot of pressure, like they did in the Palermo game. And I thought if they could just hold on and maybe get that one moment, they might snatch a win. But ex Spezia player Bastoni scored, and
Huh.
it was a good goal, and Chipendi getting one off the penalty. It was pretty. I wouldn't say very good attacking display once again from Cittadella. I wrote an article actually that just their attacking struggles are really reflected by their expected goals tally. If you didn't know, expected for everyone not listening, expected goals are basically the likelihood of scoring a goal. So if you miss a shot from like 2 yards out, that's probably like point 99 on expected goals, like how much you are expected to score from their like distance shots don't really accumulate that much. So Cittadella has the second lowest expected goals tally in Serie B, so
I
that kind of
see. I see.
reflects their struggling for goals. So and in this game, they didn't even accumulate one. So yeah, I'd say it was a deserved win for Cesena, and they really impressed me. I gotta say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said when they played us in La Spezia. That Cesena, from even from the physical standpoint, they're really dynamic. They're really great intensity, especially for the first 60-65 minutes. So yeah, they're one of the best newly promoted team. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll have to see what how long they could go for. So yeah,
Right.
let's
Yeah.
see.
Next
All right.
game, Reggiana Catanzaro. Here you scored a point.
Yeah, finally. So let's see. Reggiana Catanzaro. Reggiana was up 2-0, and then Catanzaro came back. So I don't think. I don't know if it's a result that really suits both because both teams kind of needed to get. It was a good opportunity to get a win. Catanzaro with 9 draws. So, um, yeah. But
Right. That's
hey,
what I
I
was
get one
waiting to
point here
point out
too.
again.
So
Yeah.
I get 1 point.
Right.
Um,
And then there
let's.
is Juve Stabia Spezia. I
Oh
predicted
yeah,
an X. I would have been happy since it was a difficult game coming into the week, foreseeing the game to predict as well. And you predicted Juve Stabia win. Instead, it ended 0-3 in the name of the Espositos. Unbelievable.
yeah.
Nobody saw that coming. Seriously, it was
You go ahead
was a
and talk about this game like I did with the Cittadella. Like, I saw, like, I was fully convinced this was going to be the opportunity for Spezia to finally lose because Juve Stabia has been proving themselves pretty tough to beat, especially at home. So, how
Absolutely.
this
And as
game
you
unfold?
pointed out in our previous episode, is the only team as of today that actually won facing Pisa, that won against Pisa. So nobody took this game lightly. Nobody thought that, well, we're going to Castellammare di Stabia and they're newly promoted. This season we're doing great. It's going to be a walk in the park. So we really took it seriously. And, we played as the away team. If you look at a possession, for example, it was 63% for Juve Stabia, 37% for us. But if you're looking at the shots on target, 1 for Juve Stabia, 10 for Spezia. So we dominated where it mattered, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
again, Francesco Pio Esposito scored at the 18th minute, and then Salvatore Esposito in the second half, right when Juve Stabia seemed that was coming out and actually deserved to draw. There was a very clear handball, and we got a penalty. Esposito kicked the penalty, said, when I was facing the goalie, I saw only faces that I knew because it was right under the curve of Juve Stabia. And so the goalkeeper actually was able to stop the penalty, but on the la respinta, I don't know how to say it in English, Jake, la respinta,
like the rebound. Yeah, like I saw he
the
scored on the
rebound.
rebound.
Thank you very much. The rebound, he basically, hit it with his head, jumping. It was awesome, like an angel jump, and he was able to score on the rebounds. And then at the 88th minute, Cholak came on the pitch, I think, for Francesco Pio Esposito, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember exactly. And because it was a long time ago, as you said. And right at the first ball, he scored the most beautiful goal of the game out of these three, for sure. It was a beautiful goal. And finally, he scored the first goal for the Eagles as well. So now we're only waiting for um, Diego Falcinelli to finally score, and that's it. So we have an astonishing 5 strikers that we haven't had in I can't remember how long. So it's
Yeah,
still undefeated. It's just a good time. It's just a good It's a good moment for Spezia and for Spezia fans.
yeah. It seems like it's all vibes there. Just nothing but good vibes in La Spezia. But yeah, like that was just a very good win, a clean sheet too. 3-0 on the road.
Again, right?
I did see on their
So
socials they did take the Frecciarossa there on the train. I did see Spezia's Instagram. They were posting. Like, I don't know if they take like a chartered train or they just take it with you know the, the commercial. So I don't
maybe
know how
they
that works.
reserve a wagon. I don't know how they
Mm,
do it, but yeah, I don't think the whole train. Yes,
yeah.
on your note, since you highlighted this, another clean sheet, I think it would be the 7th consecutive clean sheet if it weren't for the goal that Brescia scored against us from a palla inattiva, from a penalty kick from outside the box. So,
Mm,
yeah, very solid defense and a good attack. So, even
yeah.
coming into this game, there were doubts about how Francesco Pio and Salvatore Esposito would have performed in their hometown because they've been welcomed by the ultras before with a plate before the game. They are very big fans of Juve Stabia. Last season they celebrated the promotion just as much as they celebrated for Spezia avoiding relegation. This is something that Mr. Luca D'Angelo shared during the press conference, but they proved themselves to be real professionals and being
Yeah.
protagonists of yet another game.
And I just noticed that Francesco Pio Esposito was actually with the Italian under national team during the break. So
Indeed.
it's
Yeah.
not like he was just sitting at home. I mean, they aren't. They're still training in La Spezia. But no. And then I saw he scored a goal actually against Ukraine U21. So um, that's pretty interesting. It looks like I'm trying to.
Yeah,
It's just a friendly.
absolutely. He hasn't missed he hasn't missed a call in the youth national team since he is 17, I think. They always called him, and there is Inter. There are voices, journalists and all saying that next season is going to be with Inter, he's going to be with the first squad, and we'll see. Let's enjoy the moment. But that's
Well,
why they opened a new pitch in their own part of the town where they grew up, that the Esposito rehabbed, and Francesco Pio wasn't able to be there with Salvatore and Sebastiano because he was in the national team. Sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah. I was just, that's just a common thing with, going to the going back to the national team thing. Like, uh, Pio Esposito is 19 years old. I think he should be able to go to the senior national team right now. If he's scoring lots of goals for the under national team, I think it's, time, and that's, I think, what the Italian, you know, that's why maybe like Italy hasn't qualified for two World Cups. Like there's just seems to be the youth development of these players needs to be better, and that starts with, giving them more playing time and more opportunities when they're younger. Like,
I've been saying it for a while. Exactly.
yeah,
That is
like,
the future of the striking the striking line of the
yeah,
national
because
team as well, because we are lacking a real player,
yeah, and if
especially
you
in that
wait till
position.
like they're 24, 25 to get them a senior call up, it's going to be nothing. Like if you look at, France, like Mbappe, what if he grew up in
Hmm.
Italy, would he be that good of a player? Or Lamine Yamal for Spain, he's 17 playing for Barcelona, playing at the senior national team.
Yeah,
He'd probably still be in the Primavera if he was in Italy. So I mean, this is a whole
indeed.
different topic that we could go on for forever now, but, I just kinda
No, no,
wanted
no.
to
But
bring
you're
it up.
right. You're right. It's just an old way of perceiving things, I guess. And you're right. It's a pity. We should bet, let's say, on the development of our own youth is in our own interest, but it's
Yeah,
something that culturally we've always been struggling with. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I'm updating
yeah,
the score of our little game. If you want to, yeah, let's go back to this. There you go. So the last game that we predicted was Salernitana Bari. I predicted an X, you predicted a 2, and you scored the third point of the week. We didn't
yeah.
go we didn't do that well this week.
Yeah, it
2
was
points for
not
me,
the
3 points for you.
week to forget, but that last result, like, the Bari Salernitana game really broke the tie, and I just edge it, and even in my worst week, I still beat Elia.
Indeed, you did. Indeed, indeed. Let's see. I'm trying to update the score. Let's see if I did it right with all these formulas, and then we'll make the predictions. Yes. So 2 for me. Sorry, guys. I'll be as quick as possible. Duck, duck, and then we'll start with the predictions. So we are 47 to 51. You are gaining some room right there. Look at that. Now you're
Yeah,
leading
only by
by
1
4
point.
points. By 4 points. Say that
Yeah,
again.
only by 1 point I increased my lead, so it's, still within reach, I
Yeah, it's
think.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, because it happened before that you had like a lead by 6, 7 points. But the beauty of this game is that we score a lot, so I can come back pretty quickly. I can come back pretty quickly. So anyhow,
Yeah.
let's make the predictions. Do you mind reading them and I update them as we go?
Yes, yes, so, let me see. Oh, so you want me to read like the upcoming match day in Serie B, the games?
Yes, and we make predictions as we go while I'm updating the screen. Updating the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah. So yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah, I'm in the spotlight right now. So yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
no,
I got it
no,
here.
no,
It's just
it's
gonna
good.
take me one more sec.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, go take your time and yeah, go update it. So do you have the schedule right there, or do you want me to read it? Just
No, please read them.
yeah, yes. Okay, so Friday is Cosenza against Modena. Saturday there is 5 games being played at the what's it called? The 3 p.m. kickoff. Carrarese, Pisa. Catanzaro Mantova, Juve Stabia Brescia, Sassuolo Salernitana, and then there was one more game that's going to be played at the um, 5:15 p.m. kickoff is Cesena against Reggiana. So um, right after Juve Stabia, it was Sassuolo Salernitana. Oh yeah, and
I'm
yeah,
looking
I
at
was just
them
brief.
from the Serie B thing, so that's how they are coming up. But we can make predictions as we go if you want to.
Yeah, yeah, it's all good. I'll keep reading you the results. So um, yeah, let's see here.
Am I looking
Uh,
at the right? Yeah, yeah, I got it. 14 out of
yeah, yeah.
18 out of 38. Perfect.
Sunday, there's
Okay.
4 games, all kicking, 3 kicking off at the 3 p.m. and then 1 kicking off at the later time. The first one is Bari
Let me
Cittadella,
put you full screen.
Cremonese Frosinone, Spezia Sutiro, and then finally Palermo against Sampdoria, a rematch of last year's quarterfinal between Palermo and Sampdoria. Bari Cittadella, this is one of the more difficult road trips for Cittadella. Remember, they've already visited Palermo on in November, so this is once again another road trip in 4 days from now. Cittadella did get a draw here last season in the 89th minute. Nicola Pavan's header in the near stoppage time got them a 1-1 draw. That was like third match day, I think it was, um, in the Serie B season. Bari was not doing good last year, and it could look like once again these two clubs could be in a relegation fight. Although Bari are doing much better, and I think they're in seventh. They're in sixth place, but you never know. They only have 3 wins this season, so most likely this is probably going to end in a draw. So let's see. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry, we can start with the predictions. I think I got it prepared. I got it ready. So the
Perfect.
first game that I have here is Cosenza Modena.
Mm.
Cosenza comes from the win that we talked about earlier with Brescia after they were leading by 2 goals, and they're in a very good shape. Like they have 3 draws and 2 wins in the last 5 games, and Brescia has 3 losses. Sorry, Brescia, we already talked about that, and Modena has. Let me see. Modena has 2 losses, 2 draws, and 1 win in the last 5. So I would say that is in a better shape because they're at the same, 14 points both teams. So it's gonna be a difficult game, an interesting game, and it is difficult to predict. But I think that the Wolves are in better shape than the Canarini, Canarians. I don't know how to say it. So I'm gonna be counting on the support of the fans, and I'm gonna predict a 1 for this game.
1.
Win to
Oh
the home
yeah,
team.
I was thinking of the exact same thing. I was thinking 1, just because Modena is just 1 game in from their new coach Mandelli. Cosenza
Mhm.
coming off that big win. You can't really count out Cosenza at home. I know that it sounds kind of weird, but I think Cosenza are actually, I think, a much better team than the paper shows. Without that 4 point deduction, they would be let's see, that they would probably be in fifth or sixth place, just with
Yeah,
Cremonese and Bari. So I
indeed,
think they're
exactly.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think don't let the standings fool you. So I think Cosenza are, um, doing pretty well this season. So I'm also going to say
Go
1.
Alvini. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, next game is Sassuolo Salernitana. Go ahead, Jake.
So I hate to be boring, but it's really hard to bet against Sassuolo now. They're really in full strive, and they've got like what they think that their last loss came in August, and they've just been getting a lot of wins. Just 2 draws in their last. Let's see, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So 7 wins in their last 9 games, and two of those
Okay. Yeah.
were draws. So really, and Salernitana not doing so well. They're kind of struggling. So I mean, I see Sassuolo winning. I could be wrong. This could be a little bit of a trap game for them, but it's kind of hard to bet against them right now.
I strongly agree with you. Sassuolo is just too much for these championships for many of the teams in this league. Although Salernitana is newly relegated, and they lost 3 out of the 5 most recent games with 2 draws. So only exclusively to not to disagree with you, and because I would like for Sassuolo to stop performing as well as they do, and for Salernitana to at least not lose, I'm gonna say X.
I could definitely see that happening. I mean, it's very unlikely that Sassuolo is just gonna win out. That's just not how Serie B works. So, yeah, I
Right.
think that's definitely reasonable.
We'll see. We'll see. Next game is Juve Stabia Brescia. Juve Stabia comes from the 0-3 loss with Spezia in Castellammare di Stabia, and Brescia comes from a loss with the Wolves, as we just mentioned. So they are both teams that needs point, and they are both occupying basically the sixth place with Bari and Palermo with 17 points. Juve Stabia has lost 2 games and draw the other 3 in the most recent 5, while Brescia lost 3 games, won 1 and won the other, and draw the other. So it is impossible to predict this game. I'm just going to say 1, because
Um,
Juve Stabia plays at home, and they just can't lose in front of their own fans 2 games in a row. So that's why I'm saying 1. But
yeah,
anything could happen, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, that's good. If just real quick, could you possibly zoom in a little bit into the
Oh yes, absolutely.
prediction?
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, it just
I
makes it a
encourage any
little
feedback.
easier to read.
Perfect. Good. Awesome.
There we go.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
editing it earlier and it was perfect. Got it. Yeah, you're right. Thank you.
yeah, Juve Brescia's not in very good form. There was actually talks, how Cellino is with his Brescia, just sacking coaches
Mhm.
like here and there. So, there was, talks, but it looks like Maran is going to stay at least for one more game. But Brescia actually surprisingly has the worst defense, the tied for the worst
Hmm.
defense in terms of goals conceded, along with Suturo, 20 goals conceded. But it kind of contrasts like at the start of the season and early weeks, we were saying, Brescia's a solid team. Now even though they are in eighth place, they're still, I don't know, they're not, they're kind of conceding a lot. They're losing, dropping points in games. So even though gotta win at Sampdoria, I hate to agree with you once again, but I'm gonna say another one. It's just
All right.
I think Juve Savi is gonna bounce back.
Okay. Next game is Carrarese Pisa, which is a derby, and the fan bases are very close. I think there was a gemellaggio, and now there is a lot of respect. But it is a derby after all. It's yours to predict first, so go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I would say also, I think Caradesi fans are very grateful for the Pisa support because they played in Pisa for the
Right,
first few games. So, it was
right,
respect to them, and also both teams don't like Spezia, so they
right.
have a
They got
they
that
have a
in
common
common as well.
enemy.
Correct.
So, yeah, but I think Pisa once again is going to win. I'm very predictable in this round, but it's just they're really pulling away the top 3, so, I mean, they're
Yeah.
playing I just see Pisa winning again.
I don't know if I pointed out before in our program, but should the third place team have a gap of more than 14 points between themselves and the fourth place, there won't be any playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's something that I learned recently.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
wanted to
that's
point it out because I found
I
it
don't think
interesting.
I don't remember the last time that ever happened, but, if it continues to roll like this, Sassuolo winning, Pisa winning, and even Spezia winning, that could be a genuine possibility. But yeah, it's 14 points or more, so it's currently 6 right
It's
now.
a lot
Still,
because, of course, they won the playoffs to draw. They're exciting. It's normal, but this is something that it's in the rule book. Anyhow,
yeah,
I agree with you. I mean, I don't see Pisa losing any points in Carrara with Carrarese, no matter the friendship, no matter the common enemy. So they're just in too good of a shape. And yeah, Carrarese Pisa too. We'll see. Next game, next game is Catanzaro Mantova. Catanzaro keeps on drawing, and Mantova is in good shape to be a newly promoted team. The same amount of points. Then, no, sorry, Mantova is at 16. Catanzaro is at 15 together with Sampdoria, while Juve Stabia is ahead of them with 17 together with Brescia, Palermo, and Bari. Mantova lost 2 games, drew 2, and won 1 out of the last 5, while Catanzaro won 1 and draw the other 4. I would like to ask you, what do you think, Jake? I think Catanzaro can pull the win home. So I haven't. Yeah, we predicted a 2, so I can see this to be a 1. We'll see. 1.
my prediction XXX. This has a draw written all over it. This,
All right.
Mantova is definitely much stronger at home. They haven't gotten an away win this year. After 7 games, they only have 2 points on the road. Catanzaro just drawing so many games. They kind of remind me of Bari last season, where yeah, they weren't losing, but they weren't winning games. They were just drawing like literally every day. So yeah, I see no different here. I'm gonna be a draw.
So did I disappoint you by not predicting an X?
Yeah.
All right. Next game is Cesena Reggiana.
Well, it's my turn. Yeah. You know, as much as we talked about how Cesena is scoring a lot of goals, but they're conceding a lot. They're really probably I'd say the most entertaining team to watch this season so far. But I don't think they were really tested defensively against Cittadella. That makes sense. Cittadella is as one of the worst attacks in Serie B. So they're playing against. I would say. I mean, not so much. Reggiano only has 2 more points than Cittadella, so um, I haven't picked. I haven't predicted many draws in this round, so I'll say an X for this too. I don't know why. I just seem like an X.
All right. I think I did not predict an X. Yeah, I did predict an X. I wanted to, yeah. Okay, I'm predicting an X, agreeing with you, because I really want Cesena to fall behind a bit. Like, come on, man, just give us a break now. And Reggiana would be drawing the 3rd game in a row. I hope they do that. We'll see. We'll see. So Cesena Reggiana X, I agree with you, and then we'll see. Cremonese Frosinone is up next. There are 2 teams that they are highly underperforming according based on what they were, the expectations that the fan bases have for them. So Cremonese as the as the new coach, the new old coach again, basically. How would you say that?
Yeah,
They got
I
better
don't know.
coach.
Yeah, like
But
it's
anyhow, out of the most recent 5 games, they got 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. So bye bye, Corini. And Frosinone is just dead last with 4 draws in a row and 1 loss. I'm sorry for the Frosinone supporters. I'm not laughing, but I did not. I mean, I could see relegated team to struggle, and I could have picked Frosinone. Probably we did at the beginning of the season with our predictions, but not this much. So I think Cremonese is gonna pull this one off. So
one.
I'm gonna predict 1.
I I am gonna go for a shock win. I'll put a 2 there.
Oh, yeah,
I
exciting.
Frosinone's they've been getting results ever since they sacked, Viverini. I really have no idea what Cremonese is gonna look like. I don't know why they U-turned on Carini. I don't. I haven't been looking into it, but that's probably not a good sign. Just quitting on Carini. Just a few games in, like I don't know what's going on in the locker room. I don't know what's going on internally for Cremonese. So
Mhm.
I really don't know. But like you said, both teams really underperforming this year in terms of the expectations. For some reason, like I don't know, like I think this could be a turning point in Frosinone's season. So I'd probably like a shock win, like a 1-0, maybe like last gasp, just so crazy goal, scenes in the away end, and yeah, Frosinone getting a big win.
All right, I would be happy for Frosinone and happy for Cremonese not to stay on top, so that we don't have so many teams trailing the top three for the reason that I mentioned before. So next game, Spezia su Tirol. It is sooner or later it will end, but I don't think that su Tirol in La Spezia is the team that's gonna put an end to these awesome performances of Spezia. We had the possibility to talk about it on Monday with a journalist on our program Spazio al Prossimo, and he told us that beside the fact that Sud Tirol is struggling some, they're not going to be coming to La Spezia putting the bus in front of the goal. Also because they don't have the players with those characteristics, he explained us. But I don't know what kind of game we're going to be seeing, but I hope and I predict Spezia to win this one head on. So my prediction is one.
I could definitely see that. I mean, that's once again probably like the safe option because Spezia has been so good at home, and just they've been really all good all year, both home and away. It's just Zaffaroni has it's only his second game in charge, so still a lot can happen. It's just Sutiro, I think, is just a team that's just always hangs in there. Like they're really, I mean, they got blown out 3-0 by Catanzaro, but it's really even if they lose, it's going to be like very marginal. They're going to really make you work. So, um, really, uh, man, I can't really say this for sure, but like just given the past years, they've been just really difficult to break down. So it's definitely not going to be an easy game for Spezia. So therefore, like I could see a draw on this. So an X. Another thing about Spezia that I've
Oh,
noticed is that yeah, they don't they've been scoring a lot, but you know been very defensively sound. So I could definitely see a 0-0 in this.
yeah, right.
Oh,
No, no, no. Good analysis. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I
Just we have
because
the Alberto Pico factor, so that
yeah,
also
yeah.
inspires me some more confidence. But it could be.
Last three home games for Spezia, it was 1-0, 0-0, and 1-0 again. So recently, the goals have not been coming at the Pico. So I think a draw, and also to disagree with your predictions because we already had like a lot already.
Of course, awesome, absolutely. So I'm happy that I started with the prediction with Spezia su Tirol, and now you're going to be up first for Bari Cittadella.
Oh man, yeah. Like once again, the international break has really taken me out of the world of Cittadella for a while. So it's like I was like, who's the coach for Cittadella again? Oh yeah, yeah, Alessandro Dal Canto. Yeah, that's right. It's like I've completely like it's been, but no, I'm happy that the league is back. But anyway, yeah, Bari finally getting a win. I'm really surprised they only have 3 wins this year, yet they're in sixth place. Cittadella has 3 wins this year. They're in 19th place, which is very
No,
crazy to
good
think about.
point. Right. I love your analysis, man. You're awesome. Seriously.
Yeah, but obviously the main difference is Bari scored 15 goals, Cittadella has only 6 goals. So that's
Wow.
definitely. I don't know how good the attack will be. I am. I know I sound really boring right now, but I see another draw. I see, Bari is drawing a lot of games. I don't think they're going to be losing at the San Nicola, and you know, I think Cittadella would be happy with the draw away.
Good analysis. I agree. Just if I look at the most recent results, I see Cittadella struggling with the position in the championship. They lost the most recent game. They won the previous one, then a draw, a loss, and a draw. Bari, a bunch of draws, and then a win with Salernitana in Salerno. That's not an easy pitch. That's not an easy place to win. So I wish you guys well, but I think Bari coming back with a lot of enthusiasm after the break, they might actually win this one. So I'm gonna predict a one, Jake.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Let's see. Cittadella ended the 2022-23 season really badly, so um, let's see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. All right, last game of the upcoming round 14 of the Serie B season is Palermo Sampdoria. Palermo is in the seventh place with 17 points together with Bari, Brescia, and Juve Stabia. And they draw 3 out of the 5 games, the last 5 games, 1 win and 1 loss. While Sampdoria won 2, draw 1, and lost the 2 most recent games. So 2 consecutive losses for Sampdoria. And they are playing in Palermo. I can't predict another one. I predicted only once this time. There are weeks where I only predict X's, and then weeks where I only predict ones.
Only one, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw an X right there just because Sampdoria can't keep on losing or they're going to be in trouble. So X for me.
Palermo's been really up and down this season. Like some days, they got big wins in Cremona and Castelmar di Stabia. Then they're losing at home to Salernitana, to Cittadella,
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
then drawing away to Modena and Frosinone. So it's like it's another team where it's like I don't know what to expect. They could either play really good or really poorly. Um, Sampdoria struggling. I'm gonna say Palermo. I think, they've kind of dipped a little bit and now they're gonna come right back up. So and we'll see when they're gonna dip again. So yeah, one for me. One.
All right. Perfect. These ends are predictions the upcoming round 14 of Serie B. So we do invite you to check out how we did and to share your thoughts on round 14 and to share your predictions on round 14 on the next episode of Speaking Serie B next Wednesday at 7 p.m. CET time. In the meantime, you can find all our contents as far as I am concerned, Elia the Italian Guy, mainly on YouTube or on Instagram and TikTok. And as far as Jake is concerned,
Yep, you could follow me, Cheat the Culture USA, cheatthecultureusa.com website. Go check it out. We have news, articles, recaps, all that stuff. And then Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Cheat the Culture USA. Go follow us there. Give us a follow, and we will see you next week, the same time on Wednesday.
all right.